For this assignment, we had to choose a fictional character who uses a device without a screen and design a user interface for that device. I decided to choose Homura Akemi, a magical girl from the anime Puella Magi Madoka Magica, who uses a time-manipulating shield. The first step was to gather data on this character and her device. I conducted a user analysis, a task analysis, and an environmental analysis to gather more information about my user Homura, the task she uses her shield for, and the environments she uses the device in. I chose 3 tasks to focus the interface on. Time travel, the major catalyst of the show. Homura's main goal is to time travel back to a specific point in time to save another character whose fate keeps ending tragically. Endless inventory, an ability Homura's shield has to store and retrieve weapons in the back of the shield. And time freeze, Homura's ability to stop time for an unspecified limit. These 3 tasks fueled the ideation of possible device interfaces for the shield. I used multiple brainstorming methods, including role storming, in which I took on the role of Homura and interacted with a makeshift prototype of the device in order to ideate scenarios. I also created a mind map, an individual brainstorming technique used to connect relating ideas through a diagram. Lastly, I conducted a group brainstorming process to gather different outside perspectives and possibilities. I then moved on to prototyping interfaces for the Time Shield device. I began this process by creating low-fidelity paper prototypes based on one of the ideas I chose after evaluating all of the possibilities brainstormed during the ideation phase. I created a paper prototype showcasing all 3 tasks. I then moved on to mid-fidelity prototyping using PowerPoint. This process allowed me to focus on specific design elements of the user interface, such as layout and color. Afterwards, I used a software called Just in Mind, a new tool I had never used before, to finalize interaction elements and generate an interactive prototype I could test on mobile devices. The next step was storytelling. I wrote out 4 stories that showcased the Time Shield device and the 3 tasks. I then created storyboard sketches based on 2 of these stories, which I iterated on after conducting a feedback session with other classmates. After finalizing which storyboard I wanted to use, I used a Wacom tablet and a drawing software called Clip Studio Paint to create a more fleshed out storyboard and accompanying script. Creating an extraordinaire card composed of a main scene, an alternate scene, a surprising scene, and a detail about the Time Shield device also allowed me to think about my user in a more rounded and comprehensive way. Producing an empathy map further focused me on my user's needs as we moved closer to the final phase of the project. I created 5 versions of the design video, starting with PowerPoint and moving into using the program Filmora. Each version was iterated using feedback aggregated from viewers and required adding and subtracting illustrations, audio tracks, and special effects. In order to create a moving interface in one scene, I used Photoshop to create a layered video and imported it into Filmora. Other special effects included transitional anime plugins for Filmora and overlays showing animated dust clouds during the fight scene. I worked to create a balance between backstory and action as my viewers had suggested, which I finalized for my final design concept video.